Welcome to Faithful Organizers. My name is Sangeeta Evans, and I'd like to introduce you to our Organizer of the Month. She has also written this month's blog at Faithful Organizers and is titled 4 Easy Laundry Hacks That Help You Go from Dread to Done. I love it. And would like to welcome Danielle Wurth. She is a professional organizer, speaker, founder, CEO of Wurth Organizing, a recovering perfectionist, and
Yes.
a soccer mom. Welcome, Danielle. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Sangeeta. Thank you so much. So excited
This
to
is
be part of this. Yeah, so
Thank you
fun.
for sharing your June blog with us. And I love the tips you shared. And it's just so fun to hear different ideas and different ways of doing things. And it makes the whole process so much more fun. And I have to say, I love your last name. I love that it's a reminder, constant reminder of how God sees us and how we are worth everything and worth living a prosperous and a very
Yeah.
productive life.
Mhm.
So I'm
Thank
going to
you.
leave the audience, our listeners, to go check out your blog and read
Okay.
the amazing tips. But for now, we would just like to get to know you a little better. And if you could tell us how long you've been in your business and why did you start your business?
Yes, yes. Thank you so much for the kind introduction. Gosh, it has been 16 years since
Wow.
I've done my business, and I organizing. I think, like a lot of organizers, you just have that natural bent in the younger years of life. And for me, I had always struggled with distractibility, having ADHD, and which I think is a wonderful gift, actually. So that's my opinion on that. And so for me, creating organized systems when I was younger really just helped me stay focused to not lose my items, from school, and then as older, becoming a mom. And then it really kicked off as far as my love to want to take it to the next level and actually reach others and that struggled with disorganization. And that is when I became a mom. I had the concept done many years before, but I did real estate. I wasn't ready to start the business. But then once I was in my first year of mommyhood, I just was doing a variety of different, just simple solutions and connecting things and making mesh bags for socks and efficiency laundry and meal prep. And I just had a variety of moms within my group saying, gosh, I hear you're really good at this organizing, and can you help me? And when are you available? And it was at that point for sure that my heart just really sank and went out to moms. And I didn't realize that just because you're a mom, it doesn't come with the package of organizing skills and running a house. And I thought, gosh, you're already redefining yourself as a mother and in this new role, but then you also don't know how to run the house and schedules and laundry. And I thought that would be a really tough hill to climb without the right, direction and teaching to help navigate moms. And I just couldn't get over that fact. So that was really the spur on to say, okay, now's the time to just like launch the logo that I already had, launch the business that I already thought of years before. And my first client was a mom, and she just needed foundational teaching. And I was just doing 2 days a week.
Mhm, mhm.
And that was just enough so I could stay with my kiddos between preschool. But it did quickly grow. And so I branched off and kind of took my training, created a training, manual and teaching to then add more moms as well to the team with skills. And we just kept adding and adding. And so, yeah, that's kind of where it just snowballed in great ways. So
That's
very,
awesome.
very grateful. And organizing wasn't even like this big industry or buzzword. You really had to almost explain what you were doing. So it was just such a different industry. There was no social media back then, very grassroots in building the business. So
That's great. I mean, I have heard you share some amazing things in webinars and some speaking events that you've been on. And I'd love to hear what you meant by ADHD's gift, because what I see from my perspective, I love how you break things down and
Mhm.
and you help an average person who has attention split everywhere, right?
Right, right,
You simplify it. So
right,
that's
right.
I see that as a gift and how you make things
Yes.
easier. But how do you see that?
Our brains are, I think we have to understand the ADHD brain, and I just have studied it more and more as I became more into adulthood and understanding it. Our brains do develop from the back to the front. And so this area of prefrontal cortex doesn't fully develop actually until age 28 to 32. But this is the area that executive functioning, organizing, time management, planning, that's where all that is. So we really need to have systems in place to help kind of foster it, because this area takes a very long time to actually develop. And I don't think I didn't even understand that as well. So I realize what I need to do to reduce distractions. There's the typical not having, noises on my phone, dings, pings, um, flash ups, banners. Once I reduced a lot of that was very helpful. Not having certain apps right front and ready, like Instagram can be very distracting for me. I go down that rabbit hole. So I realize what's really going to derail me and what's going to keep me on task. And so I think just practicing awareness and self-control, and that's a fruit of the spirit, as we know too. So I've had to just acknowledge that and be aware of that. And when I'm feeling tired and I need rest, then I need to follow myself for that as well. Sometimes I'm just getting to my son's school early on purpose and just shutting phone and just closing my eyes. Um, so yeah, I do feel it's a daily mindful practice.
Mhm.
I have also really embraced some naturopathic options as well. Green tea, which I just brewed. I do a big pot for the week, and that helps me quite a bit. Green coffee extract. It's a combination. I think everyone has to just have their own element. I could do a whole
That's
webinar
awesome. I know
on
you
that.
can.
I literally could, 'cause I'm
We will
really
take you
passionate about
up
it.
on that.
Yeah.
But
It's really a
you
big
did,
deal, and our clients too, they're so distractible, which
yes,
is
yes.
fine. We get it.
Yes, that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
You did mention fruits of the spirit, and I know you're a Christian. Tell me how your faith has
Mhm.
impacted your business.
I I think I didn't realize how much as far as coming into the business, you would see kind of this outlying person and their package and the car they're driving, and oh, they seem like they have it together and all this, and then they become a client, and then you see their internal world and what they're living in. And I had one particular client, literally they had his and her matching Porsche SUVs, and I mean everything just looked like the boxes were checked. And so I was thinking, gosh, I wonder what she needs to be organized. Then we go into the house, and it was pretty wild. I mean, honestly, she said had some very strong addiction for party items and collecting things, and just clothing. And I could see there's just a whole nother side to this person. So as far as my sense of like empathy and understanding and just having like as little judgment as possible. And I try to tell as many people as well, in general, not naming names, but and saying you really don't know someone unless you are truly in their house, like in their drawers, knowing where they're at. You don't know their struggles, you don't know their lifestyle. We just don't. We don't truly know people like we think. Because so many clients will say, "Gosh, am I so bad?" And I'm like, "Trust me, This is why there is a business, because people do struggle, and that's okay. They just need to be taught skills." So if I feel led to pray with someone, even if it's just a total call in. I mean, I do not know this person from Adam. If I feel led to pray for them, and again, not even knowing their faith background, then I'll just say, I feel led to pray for you. Are you okay with that? And I have never had someone say no.
Oh,
They're just
that's
like, oh
awesome.
my goodness. And then, the tears come and the emotions come, and they're grateful for the call. Same thing at a client session. Um, whatever their faith background, I think just having the love to even be considered to be prayed over. So who would not appreciate that? And I feel like that's something people have always told me as clients. That meant so much to me that you even felt led to do that.
That
And
is awesome. And
yeah,
that's, I think,
why
a
not?
great
I mean, we need
aspect.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's great being allowing yourself to be led by the Holy Spirit as it guides you. And
sure.
so you heard that and you're like, you know what, let me go ahead and act on it. And that
Definitely.
takes a lot of boldness and courage, and but it is a great opportunity for us to step into people's homes and be able to bless them with a prayer, just to
Mhm.
let them know that we care, you know?
Absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah.
we can talk about this all day, but if you could please share with us one more of your favorite organizing tips that you like to leave.
Yes. Yes. So one of them just kind of came, by accident. I didn't have like my cards with me, or I'd run out one day, whatever it was. I might have been out and about where I'm not going to have cards, like meeting someone hiking or whatever. And I thought, you know what? Why don't I just create a professional contact in my phone of just myself?
Mhm.
And I thought that just seemed like a logical idea. So that's what I did. I have a contact that's more my mom contact, a soccer mom. And I'll even put up there my name, but then I'll be like soccer mom too. And I put my kids' names. So this way, and then I have our home address. So I don't always give my address out, and my personal email. So it's more like my personal contact. And then I have a separate contact in my phone that's a professional contact, and that'll have more of the professional headshot, the social media, website, booking links, and then the title under it as well. I guess whenever you're calling, it'll even has something fun like, professional organizer guru or whatever. So especially if I'm working with realtors or other people, they're hearing, oh yes, that girl Danielle is in this role. um it's been so helpful. So if I'm at any type of networking event or anywhere, people are like, oh, can I have a card or whatever? And I could always give them that. But I do find those marketing pieces get lost. And I'd rather actually be in their phone and where that cannot get lost. So then that's where I can easily just forward my contact to them. And I do it right then and there as I'm in that meeting. And then they can just hit save to as a new contact, and then
Wow, I
it's
love it.
always in there. And it's just, and what's also fun as a side note, I've realized from more of like a networking, just helping someone else, when I was at this pretty upscale networking event with majority of men too, which is interesting in this event. And so this other gentleman I was meeting, I had shared my contact, and it's fun because then I encouraged him to do that for his business. And so then people connect, oh yes, this is Danielle, this is what she does, and then also how neat, she just gave me a tip. So it just sort of
Yes,
took it to like that next level.
I
And
love it.
yeah, I mean, I tell my kids have their own contacts in their phone. So if they're anywhere, just, meeting a friend or something, just like boop, need to send something for job interviews they're doing now. But yeah, so that's
That is
absolutely,
brilliant.
yeah,
I
I
love
mean,
it. I
it's
love it.
helpful. I'm like, everyone needs to do that. And now I've had some realtor friends, they love those, especially. I'm like, hands down, that has got to be like, yeah. So it's fun. I love
Wow, that's
it.
great. Well, thank you
Yeah.
so much for sharing all of that. Please,
Thank
listeners,
you.
check out Worth Organizing. She's got amazing, amazing resources and tips all around her website, and she's a wonderful person to get to know. Um,
Oh, thank
please
you.
check
Also
out
on
her.
Instagram too. We do a lot of teachable tips on Instagram. So I mean, I
Wonderful.
do pretty pictures before and afters, but I also love to kind of do tips like say like what Sangeeta and I were talking about now too.
That's great. Thank you so much for sharing that, sharing your blog with us. So please, listeners, please check out her blog at faithfulorganizers.com and be blessed as you read Danielle's blog. Thank you so much again, Danielle. And
Thank you so much.
everyone, have a wonderful day. Bye bye.
Bye.